The No Fate channel, checking in. On this episode of Dad's Home Gym, I'm going to be giving you my review of these Elite power blocks after using them for well over a year. If this is your first time to the channel, give this video a like and hit that red subscribe button. On this Dad's Home Gym series, I typically review a piece of home gym equipment, but I'm going to start something new starting today. I'm going to give you a full year review of these pieces of equipment. Reason being, we all know what happens when you get a new piece of home gym equipment. You love it. You use it all the time. It's a brand new purchase. It's your baby. Unfortunately, unlike your kids, you fall out of love with those pieces of equipment sometimes, and sometimes you don't use them as often, or sometimes you just downright stop using them altogether. So I thought, why not have a year in review to give myself enough time to suss out any of the issues or problems with pieces of home gym equipment. And we're starting with my favorite, power blocks. Before we get started, I want to know from you, comment below, which dumbbells do you have in your home gym if you already have some? So interchangeable dumbbells are exactly what they sound like. You buy one pair of dumbbells and you're able to adjust the weights all the way from 5 pounds down to, in this case, 90 pounds. It's very simple. You take this plastic piece, which you don't think would be able to hold 90 pounds of weight, but it does, and it has held these 90 pounds multiple times for the better part of 4 years. So you slide them in on the top rung and you are at 15 pounds. The next white rung, 25. The purple rung, 35, so on and so forth. And you can do better than 10-pound increments. You can add in these weights internally and you're able to get right into the 5-pound increment set. So literally one pair of dumbbells that only takes up this amount of space in your home gym can take you everywhere from 10 pounds all the way down to 90 pounds. There's 3 different versions when it comes to power blocks. I've got the Elite series. So what you're looking at right here would cost you $627. It is a lot of money, but compared to a full set of dumbbells, there's a ton of money savings in there, along with the space savings. They have a sport version for $667, again, going from the 5 to the 90, and they have a Pro series for $817. In my mind, I think the Elite version is your best bang for the buck. If you really wanted to invest on something that you know you're going to have and use for a lifetime, you could go with the Pro series. It's a bit more expensive. You're going to get the same weight range between 5 and 90 pounds, but they're rubberized, so it's a bit more forgiving. It's a bit quieter when changing the plates in and out, and it's just a bit tighter of a fit in terms of when you're actually using those dumbbells. So I've had these for, as I've mentioned, 4 years, and I've absolutely loved them. It was the first piece of home gym equipment, for the most part, at least the first big piece that I've had in this gym, and they have absolutely been used. In home gym environments, I happen to think many people talk a lot about barbell work, but frankly, I think the average consumer, the average home gym user, does most of their functional exercises with dumbbells, and they're so great, especially because they are self-spotting, meaning that if you're in trouble, you most of the time or all the time, you can simply bring the weights down to your body, whereas a bar, you really need someone to help lift that weight off of yourself. Now, as far as stands, you do not need a stand for these interchangeable dumbbells. For the first 2 years, I didn't have any stand and I got the job done. They will work just by leaving them sitting on the floor, but it is a bit of a nuisance having to bend over every time to change the weight or to pick them up and put them down. They have 3 different forms of stands. I actually went with the cheapest stand, which is almost like a TV tray. It only costs like 65, 70 bucks compared to the other ones. And the reason I like it, and what you can't see, is that there's actually space underneath. So you can put your foot and leg right up into this part before you pull off those heavy weights, and you can still use the space underneath them. When I kitty corner this in the far left corner of my home gym, I'm able to actually shove a landmine back there in order to do barbell work when it doesn't take up any extra additional space. The only problem I would say with these interchangeable dumbbells are twofold. Number one, they're never going to feel like the dumbbells at a local gym. Unfortunately, you're just never going to get that fully knurled handle that we all know and love, and they do tend to be a bit bulky. Even though you get used to them very, very quickly within the first week or two, you're going to get used to using them, but they're just not going to feel ever like that dumbbell feeling you get at the local gym. And the second issue is dropping. Clearly, in a home gym, in your gym, you don't want to drop your weights. You want to be as kind and careful with them as possible. But we all know from time to time that you will dump weights. Unfortunately, especially in like a bench press position, a dumbbell bench press, when you get those weights up against your chest, you can't get the rep. You're going to have to drop them from side to side because you can't sit up with all that weight on your chest. Can you drop these? You really shouldn't. If you put the proper mats down or the proper pads, you could drop them and not have any issues with them, but that is a bigger extra step, and I still wouldn't recommend it because overall, if you drop these in the wrong way or angle, you're going to dent them, you're going to bend them, and they are going to be done, unfortunately. But I've been using these consistently for the past 4 years and never had an issue, never felt like they were going to be close to breaking or bending. The other minor issue that is worth noting, but for many of you isn't going to be a factor, is wrapping your dumbbells. Oftentimes when you do shrugs or you do one-arm rows and you're going super heavy, you want to wrap that dumbbell in order to take the effort off of your wrist and put it on that muscle. Because of the design of this opening, you really can't get your hand in there and work a wrist wrap around it. It's just not something that is feasible, and it's just something that is minor, but it is worth noting. If you look close behind me, you may see a full rack of Rep Fitness dumbbells. So why am I telling you and swearing by these powerblocks when I went ahead and bought a whole set of dumbbells? And the real answer is I did the measurements on the home gym. I figured out and determined that I did have the correct space. And after 2020, I realized that I am never, ever going back to a local gym again. Not because of the vid or any of those pandemic issues, simply because I don't have the time and the energy to get to the gym, try to navigate the hours of the gym, and make sure that the gym is opened up on time when they say they are going to open up. I have fallen in love with my home gym, and frankly, I work out so early in the morning to get stuff done before the day even gets started that many of the gyms in my area aren't even open when I'm already in the midst of my training. So it only made sense to go out and get dumbbells on my own because I love this hobby so much. And now it's time. It is time for Fate of the Union, where I give you my personal thoughts on these power blocks. First and foremost, if you are tight on space in your home gym, and if you are looking to save money for your home gym, I highly recommend going with interchangeable dumbbells, specifically the power blocks. They've been around for a hot minute, and frankly, everyone that I've talked to swears by them as well as me. I would say if you're trying to get the best bang for your buck, go with the Elite series. It's going to get you everything you possibly need and then some, especially if you go all the way up to the 90-pound version. I will say I personally think you should skip the sport version. I don't think it adds much benefit. If you're looking to get the premium cream of the top crop, go with the pro version. That is going to give you a bit more aesthetically pleasing and a bit nicer sounding set of interchangeable dumbbells. But either way, I don't think you can go wrong. Now, if you have the room in your home gym for dumbbells, if you have the finances for a full dumbbell set, then you might want to consider going with an actual full set of dumbbells. You're going to love them. They're going to last forever. But do keep in mind, you're going to spend a lot more money than these interchangeable dumbbells, and the space that they're going to take up is going to cost you. And you're going to have to pay for the dumbbell rack as well. Overall, if you're looking to get the job done, I'm a big fan of these interchangeable dumbbells. You can travel with them if you really wanted to. You can pick them up and go. These are great whether you have a home gym in a small space or you're currently living in a condo and you know that eventually you're going to be moving out of that condo and you don't want to have to move a whole set of dumbbells. I hope you found today's video informative. If you have any questions regarding the interchangeable power block dumbbells, drop them in the comments below. I will link the Rep Fitness dumbbell review that I did in the description of today's video, along with all the links to everything that you've seen. Those links do help me out. When you click on those links and use those links, I'm helped out, helps pay for the lights. All that money goes right back into the channel, and it goes right back into future reviews, hopefully passing along information back to you. As usual, thank you so much for watching, and as usual, don't save anything for the trip back.